I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today I am going to walk you through the proper usage and care of your Grand Seiko SBGA387 USA Limited Edition. This is a timepiece that is automatic winding by means of its case-back winding mass, and you can see that winding mass energizes the movement as you move your wrist. But should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month, need to be reset, need to be rewound, you can start the process of correction, and we're going to talk about this, by manually winding the watch. You thread the crown out counterclockwise till you feel it pop out of its threaded stem tube. At that point, you can wind the watch and note the power reserve indicator. When it reaches the end of its travel, the watch is generally fully energized, but there may be an extra 2 or 3 turns to full wind, and because this watch uses a bridle-style mainspring, which slips to relieve any excess strain, you can simply continue turning. And once the hand stops moving, turn 2 or 3 turns past the stop of the power reserve indicator, the watch will be fully wound. You can't accidentally overwind the watch because of the bridle-style mainspring. It slips to relieve excess tension, so you're safe from over-energizing your watch. Now, there are a number of subsidiary setting modes that can allow you to more precisely synchronize your watch. I recommend letting the seconds hand stop at the index at 12, then pulling the crown out. 1-2 stops. You'll feel 2 to tense. Now you're in stop seconds or hacking, also known as setting mode. So what I like to do is look up an online atomic clock that's accurate to your time zone, and then set the watch to the correct hour. Let's say where I am, it is currently 5:30. Well, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make sure that the first thing I do is roll the watch through the date change. And let's say it's 5:30 in the morning. So now I'm in the morning, I'm setting my hour correctly. Set the same hour compared to your atomic clock reference time and the next nearest minute. So set this to 5:31. Here's why. You're going to wait for the time you've set to match the reference. The reference will catch up, and the second, hours, minutes, and seconds all coincide. You push that crown back in, and now you have resumed the advance of the governing wheel. The spring drive is moving again, and you have synchronized your watch to reference time. There's also a quick set date, which is a fun feature that you can use. Pull the crown out one position, that is 1 detent from winding, but 1 detent in from setting. You know you're in the right position because the watch will have its seconds hand advancing. This is not stop seconds. And what you do at this point is you turn in a counterclockwise direction. Let's say it's the 27th where I am. I turn until I reach the 27th, and there we are. Now there is one proviso here. You don't want to use that system between the hours of 8 p.m. and 3 a.m. as attempting to use the quick set while the watch is slowly preparing to jump its date automatically can crash the movement. So if you're between 8 p.m. and 3 a.m., don't use the quick set. And if you must change the date during this period, pull the crown out all the way and roll the watch through the date change rather than using the quick set. Your watch will thank you for it. Now, there are a couple of areas of handling and concern areas that you need to keep in mind when owning and using your watch. Water, magnetism, and shock. Let's talk about water because it's everywhere. Your watch is 100 meters water resistant with the crown threaded all the way in, and I cannot overemphasize that it must be threaded all the way in to a stop. Your watch is 100 meters water resistant. That is sufficient for swimming, not for high diving, not for anything that involves a rebreather and professional diving activities, but for most aquatic activities, this watch is good to go. That said, you can help avoid accidental drowning by keeping that crown screwed down. Consider a wet watch to be the same as a submerged watch. Never thread the crown out or use any of its functions while the watch is wet or submerged outright, as this can bypass the seals and introduce water to the interior of the case. Avoid. Furthermore, water resistance is not a static feature of your watch, and over time, as seals age and lubricants degrade, your watch will be relatively less water resistant than when you first purchased it. Therefore, Grand Seiko recommends, on an annual basis, having your watch dry water tested. The service will be free at a Grand Seiko dealer or service center. This will ensure that the watch still maintains its factory-rated hermeticity, and it's a good time to have total condition evaluated to see if your watch might need a comprehensive overhaul. Magnetism is ubiquitous, and you'll find it in everything from the closures of wallets, purses, and refrigerator doors to speakers, subwoofers, MRI equipment, and powerful electrical devices. Keep your watch remote from magnetic sources to avoid influences that may corrupt the timing precision of your watch. Finally, keep your watch remote from extreme concussion and shock. It's best to avoid shock because it could do anything from causing imprecise running of the mechanism to physically damaging the case, the sapphire crystals, compromising watertight integrity, or even stopping the watch. Therefore, Grand Seiko recommends you discontinue use of the watch during concussive sports such as batting, tennis, or golf, firearms marksmanship, or the riding of ATVs and mountain bikes. Finally, every fine timepiece requires comprehensive service periodically. Per Grand Seiko, this should happen once every 3 years, and a good time to have total condition checked is during your annual water test. If necessary, service exclusively at Grand Seiko authorized service centers or the factory itself, as these agencies solely have the trained personnel, specialized tools, and original Grand Seiko factory replacement parts to protect the value of your watch as both instrument and as investment. Moreover, only these agencies are able to back all labor and parts invested with a Grand Seiko factory service warranty. Finally, visit our website at golfbergwatches.com and call, text, or email our experts who will be happy to walk you through every phase of the usage and care of this or any Grand Seiko fine timepiece.